Would you ever have guessed that a simple metal wand like this, it's called a Teishin, could actually outperform some of the fanciest, most expensive and high-tech animal care tools like lasers and 10 units and even the modern acupuncture needles? Would you also have guessed that after teaching acupressure for over 30 years, I have become so enamored with this little tool that I find that it matches and sometimes even surpasses the results that I get from my beloved acupressure. So in the last video, I shared some of the very basics about this little Teishin tool. But in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 different reasons why this ancient, gentle tool is so effective with animals and why I think you should be the next convert to use this tool. And be sure to stay around until the end because I have a brand new resource to help you use this tool and you do not want to miss it. The number one reason why you should be using this tool is because it works. So although a lot of people are drawn to the Teishin because it's gentle, it's safe to use, and it's well accepted and tolerated by even the most sensitive animals, the only real reason to use a tool like this is if it works. So as I mentioned before, this tool is used on or around the energetic acupressure points or on the meridians. So it has a very similar effect that we would see with acupuncture or acupressure. But we have also seen in scientific studies that it actually really does work, and that's pretty exciting. So they did a study back a few years ago with over 600 people with chronic back pain. 1/3 of the participants of the study received kind of conventional medical approaches. Mostly, I think they were pharmaceutical solutions. 1/3 received acupuncture with insertive needles. And 1/3 actually received point work done with a toothpick on the same points as the acupuncture needles had been inserted to the other third. And what they saw is that even a year later, the acupuncture recipients and the toothpick recipients had much better results than the people who only received pharmaceutical solutions. And the amazing thing is even a year later, the people who had received just contact at the acupressure points with the toothpick, which is essentially what the Teishin tool does, had even better, in some cases, results than the acupuncture needles and much better than the pharmaceutical solution. So I will put the study in the show notes. So if you want to kind of check that out, you can see it's legit. It is absolutely there. And you can read for yourself about the power of using this tool without having to insert a needle into the point. It works. Reason number 2 that I absolutely love the Teishin is not only does it work, it does so very efficiently. So there are a lot of tools that people are using with horses and cats and dogs now, things like the lasers and the PEMF and all of these other gadgets. They are terrific and they can have some wonderful results with animals. But I love the simplicity of this very simple tool. So electrical tools can be expensive, complicated, you have to kind of figure out how to use them. They can even be intimidating for some animals who don't like all of the gadgetry that can come along with it. They can need batteries and calibration and all kinds of training. And that leads to how beautiful the Teishin is. It's super portable. You can just throw it in your pocket. It has no batteries, no beeping, and no stress. That is really good for animals who are super sensitive, who want to just get into that nice, relaxed receiver mode because there's not a lot of accoutrement in the way. And that is one of the reasons that I think the Teishin is really right at the top of the list for working with animals. The next reason why the Teishin tool is such a great tool in your toolbox is that it is very well tolerated even by sensitive animals. What we hear again and again from our students and our graduates of our certification program is that there are some clients who really don't like massage. They don't like the movement, they don't like the pressure, maybe they're sensitive from some kind of trauma, maybe the muscles just hurt or the acupressure points are sensitive. When you have those situations, the incredible thing about this tool is that you use it in a feather-light matter. It is just kind of held in contact with the skin. It doesn't give that extra sensory input that happens when you are going a lot of finger pressure, and it is just really much more gentle and delicate than doing deep massage. And so we find that there are animals that really are not fans of some of these other techniques and will accept the Teishin work so you can get your point work done. And the other thing that you should know is that because this tool kind of amplifies your energy, it's actually used sometimes just over an acupressure point, so you can actually hold your hand above the surface of the body and actually let it work in that way. And it turns out that it's just as effective as making physical contact. So it gives you lots of options for working with super sensitive animals who may not tolerate some of the more everyday methods that we use for body work and other kinds of care. If you like working with your hands to help animals, you are going to love using the Teishin because it feels so good in your hand and it feels so good using it with animals. It has a very light, balanced feel to it, so it's just very appealing. It just really draws you in. And animals love that calm, subtle, energetic exchange that it brings. And so it's just a feel-good experience from start to finish for so many animals. And because of the way that it seems to amplify the energy that you are working with, we've found that most of our students really appreciate how it kind of helps them build their energy skills. So for people who are a little less confident about using the energetic aspect of acupressure, using this tool will somehow just really amplify your ability to channel energy through the tool and to the animal who is receiving it. It's a beautiful, seamless, and smooth feel for all. And that is great for those of you that are really wanting more of an experience of the energetic aspect of doing point work. And reason number 5 that we love using Teishin in the context of your sessions with animals is it gives a beautiful and powerful professional image. The Teishin is something a little different because there aren't a lot of people using it with animals yet, although we expect that to change. And so that is going to set you apart from everyone in your area because you are offering something cool and new. And yet, although it has this newness and interesting feel to it, it actually has the legacy of centuries of care. So you know this has been tested, and it is a true, powerful tool for doing point work. Not only that, what we see is that using a tool has this subtle effect with your clients. It makes you look very authoritative. It makes you really look like you know what you're doing. And so it's kind of interesting to see how using a simple tool like this can actually improve your professional image when you're working with clients. So those are just 5 reasons why we love using this tool with animals in animal care professions. So now that you know all the reasons why having a Teishin in your toolbox is going to be fantastic, let's show you how to get the information you need to get started with these tools. First of all, you should know that we are about to come out with our own line of the Elemental Teishin. We are going to have one Teishin for each of the 5 elements, and we are starting with the release very, very soon. So make sure you get on our mailing list so you receive notification about that. But we have more. First of all, we have a free PDF that is, the link is down in the description box so that you can kind of start thinking about the Teishin and learning about all of the simple techniques that you can get started with. Not only that, If you subscribe to this channel, you're going to receive notification of more videos in this playlist because the Teishin is a topic I am so passionate about. I can't wait to share all sorts of techniques and animal demos and some really great success stories. So stick around and make sure that you just soak all this good Teishin stuff up because it's going to make such a beautiful difference in your care for animals. But before you go today, make sure you tell me how you think that you will apply the Teishin work in your practice. Do you have a sensitive animal that really needs that gentle touch? Or do you just want to feel energy a little bit more and think that this might be your way to really cultivate the feeling of chi? I want to know. Let me know in the comments below.